Hello, welcome to my channel, Jumboye's Corner. It's good to have you here. In this channel, I'll be talking about student learning experience, research methods, writing of reports, writing of essays, completing courseworks, how to do introductions of your coursework, how to do the conclusion, and how to write the body of your courseworks, either as a report, essay, presentation, and all those. But for today, we'll be looking at research methods. What I've come to notice is students have find it very difficult to conduct research. Some don't even understand how to start. I'm a lecturer in the UK and I understand what I'm talking about. So in this particular topic today, I will be taking you through how research is being conducted. But before we get to that, there are principles that govern conducting of research which you need to understand. And this principle or set of principles are known to be philosophies. So today I will be taking you through research philosophies. Actually, there are lots of philosophies, but I will be focusing on the major three, and that is the ontology, epistemology, and pragmatism. And these philosophies are what govern or what dictates what you use as methods in your research. Now, the ontology philosophy, it's about seeing reality as an external part. You're seeing reality as being external from you. So you as a researcher, you're distanced from the reality in the sense that you don't count yourself to be part of the reality. Now, so ontology is about the study of reality, about study of what life is. Now, the epistemology is about the study of how to know, study of knowledge. So the concept of philosophy of epistemology is to study how to know, to explore how to know. So the focus is how to know. And the pragmatism is coming between these two. Pragmatism believes that truth is not the end. So when you're doing research, truth is not the end, but rather truth is a norm. Is a norm that needs to be verified. So as such, you're not seeing the reality as being an external part to you. You're seeing yourself to be part of the reality. You're seeing that you have an influence on how reality or the results you obtain exploring reality brings. So you play an impact and you influence it. So you can't really separate yourself from the reality. That is what pragmatism is all about. Now, how do you now break this down to what you know in research? Now, if you're looking at ontology, ontology has got many parts and many views. Now, when you're looking at ontology, there is a part of ontology that treats reality as not fallible. By being not fallible, I mean that sees reality, that reality doesn't change no matter what you do, no matter how you feel, reality doesn't change. And this part of ontology is what is called the positivism. This positivism, most times, because they believe reality doesn't change and you are external from reality, you are an external being to the reality, they tend most times to observe what is happening. So, and in that case, they focus on what is happening in reality to see how reality is being developed. But they distance themselves as not being part of it. But when you're now looking at this same positivism in epistemological stance, when I mean epistemological stance, I mean the epistemology philosophy part of the research. If you're looking at this, then you're looking at how do you tend to understand this reality. Don't forget that is the intention, is how to know. So how do you tend to understand this reality? In that case, you may now begin to look at ways by which you can understand what is happening in the world. And in that case, you may tend to be using things like questionnaire. You may tend to be using things like observation state. You may tend designing measurement scales to measure what is happening and reporting it. So that is how you know. You know by measuring it. You know by observing it. So that is the epistemological stance of you understanding the reality. There is another path again that can doesn't look see the world as being unchanged or not fallible. And that path is what is known as interpretivism. Now, when you look at interpretivism, it's about saying that your view of the world can change. In fact, the views of everybody about the world is dependent on people. That is, different people will view the world in a different way. They view the world differently. In that sense, what happens is you now need to compare the views of people for you to understand the reality. So, and this is what leads to research methods such as interview. You go around, interview people to understand how they feel about what you're researching on, which is the reality we are talking about, what you're researching on, and this their view are what you're going to be comparing. Then in that sense, that is interpretivism. So in an ontological stance, this they refer to as relativism. It means the reality is relative. And relative means is something that changes based on people, based on their opinion, based on their agenda, based on their experience. It changes and varies. So that is relativism. And that is based on ontological stance. Now for you to know, which is the epistemological stance of it, you need to conduct interview. So, and when you conduct interview, then you tend to see the views of these people about this particular reality. So, I will leave you with this. The pragmatism probably will find another, maybe in my subsequent video, I will explain more about the pragmatism. What the pragmatism does, they believe that fine, you've got this reality, now you understand the reality. You just need to find what is best for you to use to understand the reality. They believe you can look at reality based on your own experience. For instance, you can look at reality based on other people's experience, and most times when you get this reality, is a good practice for you to prove it that, oh, this is the reality. And in that case, reality you have found. Now, what is your view about reality? Do you believe reality exists as an external thing to the researcher? Then reality can be studied. In that case, you have the ontological view. Or do you believe it's worth knowing how reality has come to be? Then in that case, you have the epistemological view. Or do you believe that reality cannot be confirmed until it is verified? Then in that case, you are of the pragmatic view. your view dictates your choice of research method. When I talk of research method, I'm talking of either are you going to use qualitative or are you going to use quantitative. So that is why for you to understand where you belong in these philosophical views is very important, and that should be the starting point of your research. So I want you to leave in the comment section where you belong, or still just understand where you belong so that you can be able to follow up on my subsequent video and be able to find your own lane as to what is relevant to you and not. So just know, understand, do I believe reality exists from researcher? Am I interested in only looking at reality? Or am I interested in knowing how we get to know what is a reality and not? Or am I interested in being able to confirm my reality by verifying the reality? Then when you identify where you belong in this, it helps you to understand how you approach your research. In my next video, I will talk about qualitative research method and the quantitative research method, and how this links to the quantitative and the qualitative methods. Until then, I will advise you turn on your notification button and you subscribe so that when I put out the video, you won't miss out from it. Until then, bye.